The Pirate Bay and the Copyright War, a comprehensive overview. Introduction. The Pirate Bay TPB, founded in 2003 in Sweden, has become a central figure in the ongoing conflict between digital piracy and copyright enforcement. This torrent sharing site has been at the forefront of a complex legal battle involving copyright laws, the rights of Internet service providers (ISPs), and the efforts of anti-piracy organizations. This report provides a detailed account of the events surrounding the Pirate Bay, particularly focusing on the significant 2017 European Court of Justice (ECJ) ruling that has far-reaching implications for copyright enforcement across Europe. Timeline of events. 2003 – Founding of the Pirate Bay. The Pirate Bay was launched as a platform that allows users to share files via the BitTorrent protocol. It quickly gained popularity as a repository for pirated movies, music, and software, making it a target for copyright holders. 2010 – Legal action initiated. The anti-piracy organization Stichting Brain, based in the Netherlands, initiated legal proceedings against the Pirate Bay, seeking to compel Dutch ISPs Ziggo and XS4 all to block access to the site. This marked the beginning of a protracted legal conflict that would span several years. 2017 – The European Court of Justice ruling. In June 2017, the ECJ ruled that the Pirate Bay is liable for copyright infringement. The court concluded that the site not only facilitates the sharing of copyrighted materials but also plays an active role in their distribution. This ruling was significant in that it defined the responsibilities of platforms that host user-generated content. Key legal arguments. The main legal arguments presented throughout this case focused on the nature of the Pirate Bay's operations and its responsibilities under copyright law. Argument for safe harbor. The Pirate Bay maintained that it should be protected under safe harbor provisions similar to those that protect platforms like YouTube. The site argued that it does not host infringing files, instead it merely acts as a search engine for torrents, allowing users to find and download files shared by others. Court's position. The ECJ refuted this claim, stating that the Pirate Bay goes beyond simply facilitating access to content. The court noted that the platform categorizes files, deletes non-functional links, and filters content, thereby playing a significant role in making copyrighted works available to the public. This involvement, the court found, amounted to communication to the public, which is subject to copyright law. Implications of the ruling. The ECJ's ruling has several important implications. 1. Increased liability for similar platforms. Following this ruling, other torrent sites may face increased scrutiny and potential legal challenges, as copyright holders can now argue that these platforms have similar liability. 2. Blocking access. The ruling empowers ISPs and governments across Europe to block access to the Pirate Bay and potentially other similar sites, as the legal basis for such actions has been strengthened. 3. Shift in anti-piracy strategy, with traditional torrent sites facing heightened legal risks. Anti-piracy organizations may shift their focus to newer technologies and platforms that facilitate piracy, such as modified streaming devices, e.g. Kodi boxes. Variations in coverage by major outlets. BBC. The BBC highlighted the potential for the ruling to affect other torrent sites and noted that users might still find ways to bypass ISP blocks, such as through VPNs and proxy servers. The report emphasized that while the Pirate Bay may be increasingly blocked, the demand for pirated content persists. The Guardian. The Guardian's coverage focused on the legal ramifications of the case, noting the 7-year legal battle and the significant role that the Pirate Bay's operators played in facilitating copyright infringement. The article underscored the potential for this ruling to lead to broader enforcement actions against other torrent sites. Los Angeles Times. The Los Angeles Times provided context by discussing earlier legal actions against the Pirate Bay's operators and the entertainment industry's challenges in combating piracy. The article suggested that while legal actions may deter some piracy, they are unlikely to eliminate the demand for free content, emphasizing the need for the industry to adapt and offer compelling legal alternatives. Conclusion: the Pirate Bay's journey through the legal landscape reflects the broader challenges of enforcing copyright in the digital age. The 2017 ECJ ruling marked a significant moment in the copyright war, setting a precedent that could reshape the future of online file-sharing platforms. While legal actions continue to evolve, the demand for pirated content remains robust, highlighting the need for the entertainment industry to innovate and offer legitimate alternatives that meet consumer needs. As technology advances, the cat-and-mouse game between copyright enforcement and digital piracy is likely to continue, with new forms of distribution and sharing emerging alongside ongoing legal battles. Counterintuitive information in the content. 1. The Pirate Bay as a hero versus villain narrative. The characterization of the Pirate Bay operators as folk heroes to many internet users stands in stark contrast to their legal status as copyright infringers. While they are often viewed in a positive light by those who value free access to content, the legal system treats them as serious violators, showcasing the duality of public perception versus legal reality. 2. Legal rulings and technological progress. The notion that legal rulings such as those against the Pirate Bay could deter piracy may be counterintuitive given the continuous technological advancements that allow users to circumvent such rulings. For example, despite the European Court of Justice ruling, users can still access the Pirate Bay through VPNs and other methods, suggesting that legal action alone may not effectively combat piracy. 3. Impact of rulings on other sites. The European Court's decision to hold the Pirate Bay liable could lead to broader implications for other similar websites. However, the immediate effect may be minimal since the Pirate Bay was already heavily blocked across Europe before the ruling. This raises questions about the efficacy of legal measures versus the adaptability of users who can find ways around these barriers. 4. Shift in focus for anti-piracy efforts. The content suggests a shift in anti-piracy efforts from traditional platforms like the Pirate Bay to new technologies such as Codyboxes. This indicates that while the Pirate Bay has been a focal point in the battle against piracy, the emergence of new technologies complicates the landscape, making it difficult for anti-piracy groups to target a singular source effectively. 5. Entertainment industry's role. The assertion that the entertainment industry needs to innovate and provide compelling legal alternatives to combat piracy directly contradicts the common belief that stricter legal measures alone will suffice. It suggests that the industry's failure to adapt and offer better online services is as significant a factor in the persistence of piracy as the existence of platforms like the Pirate Bay. 6. The nature of file sharing. The distinction made between a mere search engine and a platform that actively promotes piracy challenges the common assumption that all file-sharing services operate with similar intent. The Pirate Bay's active role in facilitating access to copyrighted content complicates the narrative that merely providing a platform should shield one from liability. 7. Public access versus legal ownership. The ongoing accessibility of pirated content, despite numerous legal challenges, highlights a counterintuitive situation where public demand for free access to content often outweighs legal ownership rights. This suggests an underlying societal tension between copyright laws and public access to information and entertainment. 8. Overreaction in legal responses. The idea that legal actions against the Pirate Bay could prompt overreactions that stifle technological innovation is counterintuitive. While one might expect the law to be a protective measure for creators, overly strict applications of copyright law could inadvertently hinder the development of new technologies that could benefit the industry as a whole. 9. Cultural perception of piracy. The perception of piracy as a victimless crime among many users contrasts sharply with the financial losses claimed by the entertainment industry. This cultural viewpoint challenges the traditional narratives around copyright infringement and complicates the discussions surrounding the morality of accessing pirated content. 10. Legal versus user experience. the notion that user-friendly platforms like Hulu and Spotify are necessary to win over users from the Pirate Bay indicates that legal measures might be less effective than creating a superior user experience. This highlights a counterintuitive approach to piracy where the solution lies more in meeting consumer needs than in punitive legal actions. Overall, these counterintuitive insights reveal the complexities and contradictions inherent in the ongoing copyright wars, particularly regarding how technology, public perception, and legal frameworks interact in the realm of digital content sharing. The Pirate Bay TPB has become a focal point in the ongoing struggle between copyright holders and those who share content without permission. While much of the attention surrounding TPB focuses on its legal battles and the implications of various court rulings, several crucial aspects of its history and operation are often overlooked, yet they reveal significant insights into the broader dynamics of the copyright war. 1. The evolution of legal arguments. One of the most frequently discussed elements of the Pirate Bay's legal challenges is its assertion that it operates merely as a search engine akin to YouTube, arguing for safe harbor protections. However, the European Court of Justice (ECJ) ruling in 2017 rejected this defense, emphasizing that TPB does more than simply aggregate links, it actively manages and categorizes content, which is a significant factor in determining liability. This legal evolution is significant because it reflects a growing recognition of the responsibilities that online platforms have in moderating content. The distinction between passive and active involvement in copyright infringement is crucial in shaping future legislation and court rulings concerning digital platforms. As courts continue to refine these definitions, it could lead to stricter regulations for other file-sharing services and platforms, influencing how they operate and potentially limiting user access to shared content. 2. The role of anti-piracy organizations. The involvement of anti-piracy groups such as Sticking Brain is another key element that often goes underappreciated. Their persistent efforts to challenge platforms like TPB have not only led to significant legal victories but also to a shift in focus toward other technologies that facilitate piracy. For example, the rise of modified Cody boxes exemplifies how the piracy landscape is continually adapting, leading to a cat-and-mouse game between technology developers and legal authorities. The significance of these organizations lies in their strategic adaptability. As they redirect their focus to new forms of piracy, they highlight the necessity for copyright holders to be proactive rather than reactive in their strategies. This adaptability can serve as a model for other industries grappling with digital rights issues, emphasizing the need for continuous innovation in both anti-piracy measures and legal frameworks. 3. The cultural impact of the Pirate Bay. Beyond the legal and financial implications, the cultural significance of the Pirate Bay can easily be overlooked. TPB has become a symbol of resistance against perceived corporate control over content. Many users view it as a champion for free access to information and media. This cultural narrative complicates the copyright debate by framing it in terms of freedom versus control, which resonates deeply with the values of Internet users, particularly among younger generations. The cultural impact is significant because it influences public perceptions of copyright laws and the entertainment industry. As users identify with TPB's stance, it can foster a sense of entitlement regarding content access, complicating efforts to promote legitimate distribution channels. Understanding this cultural backdrop is vital for those in the entertainment industry seeking to mitigate piracy. They must not only address legal issues but also engage with the cultural narratives that drive user behavior. 4. Technological adaptation and user behavior. Another often overlooked aspect is how the Pirate Bay and similar platforms adapt technologically to evade legal challenges and ISP blocks. Users have developed various methods to bypass restrictions such as VPNs, mirror sites, and proxy servers. This technological arms race signifies a broader trend in which users are empowered to circumvent legal barriers, underscoring a fundamental challenge for copyright enforcement. The significance of this user behavior lies in its implications for future copyright enforcement strategies. as long as users can find ways to bypass restrictions. Traditional legal measures may prove insufficient. This reality calls for a rethinking of how copyright laws are enforced in the digital age, potentially requiring more collaborative approaches that involve technology companies, ISPs, and content creators to create sustainable solutions that respect both user rights and copyright protections. 5. The future of copyright in the digital age. The ongoing saga of the Pirate Bay raises critical questions about the future of copyright in a digital landscape characterized by rapid technological change. As new platforms and methods of sharing content emerge, the traditional frameworks for copyright protection may struggle to keep pace. The ECJ's ruling suggests a tightening of regulations. But it also highlights the need for a broader discussion about the efficacy of current copyright laws in the face of evolving digital practices. This is significant because it prompts a re-evaluation of how copyright law is structured. Policymakers may need to consider more nuanced approaches that balance the interests of copyright holders with the rights of users. This could involve rethinking what constitutes fair use, exploring alternative compensation models for creators, or fostering environments for legal content sharing that meet user demands. Conclusion. In summary, while the legal battles surrounding the Pirate Bay are critical to understanding the current state of copyright law, the broader implications of its existence and operation provide valuable insights. From the evolution of legal arguments and the role of anti-piracy organizations to cultural narratives and technological adaptations, each of these aspects underscores the complexities of the copyright war. For the entertainment industry and policymakers, recognizing and addressing these nuances is crucial for developing effective strategies that resonate with users while protecting creators' rights. The ongoing dialogue surrounding the Pirate Bay serves as a barometer for the future of copyright in the digital age, highlighting the need for innovation, adaptability, and a deeper understanding of the cultural landscape. 1. Copyright responsibility and legal precedents. The European Court of Justice's 2017 ruling that the Pirate Bay TPB is liable for copyright infringement marked a significant legal milestone in digital copyright law. By asserting that TPB's operations exceeded mere facilitation of file sharing to include actively managing and categorizing copyrighted content, the court set a precedent that could impact similar platforms. This decision underscores the evolving interpretation of safe harbor provisions, which previously allowed platforms like YouTube to operate without direct liability for user-uploaded content. The ruling's implications could lead to increased accountability for online platforms and a potential wave of legal actions against others in the digital sharing space. 2. Impact on digital piracy and anti-piracy movements. The ruling not only affects the Pirate Bay but also signals a broader trend in anti-piracy efforts across Europe. With the court's decision empowering copyright holders to pursue blocking actions against similar sites, this may embolden other anti-piracy organizations to target platforms perceived as infringing copyright. Furthermore, as the focus shifts from traditional torrent sites to newer technology like modified code boxes, the landscape of digital piracy is changing. This evolution suggests that while legal measures may hinder some platforms, the continuous innovation in technology will challenge anti-piracy efforts, necessitating a multifaceted approach to copyright enforcement. 3. The role of technology in piracy and countermeasures. The ongoing battle between piracy and copyright enforcement highlights the complexities introduced by technology. While the Pirate Bay argued it should be treated like a search engine, the court found that its operations included features that facilitated infringement. This distinction emphasizes the need for digital platforms to navigate copyright laws carefully, as their design and functionality can influence legal interpretations. Moreover, the existence of workarounds such as VPNs and proxy servers suggests that legal measures alone may not be sufficient to deter users from accessing pirated content. Thus, the entertainment industry must also focus on technological innovations that provide legal alternatives to piracy. 4. Cultural and economic implications of piracy, beyond legal and technological aspects. The cultural perception of piracy plays a crucial role in the ongoing conflict between copyright holders and users. The Pirate Bay has garnered a following that views it as a symbol of resistance against corporate control of content. This perspective complicates the narrative around piracy, framing it not merely as a legal issue but also as a cultural phenomenon with economic implications. As consumers increasingly demand access to content, the challenge for the entertainment industry will be to create compelling legal alternatives that meet user expectations while respecting copyright. The long-term sustainability of the industry may depend on its ability to adapt to changing consumer behavior and preferences in the digital age. 1. Napster Case 2000. Napster, a pioneer file-sharing platform, was founded in 1999 and quickly became synonymous with online music piracy. The Recording Industry Association of America (RIAA) sued Napster in December 1999, claiming it facilitated copyright infringement by allowing users to share music files. In 2000, a federal court ruled that Napster was liable for copyright infringement, leading to its shutdown in 2001. The legal precedents set in this case highlighted the responsibilities of service providers in monitoring user behavior and laid the groundwork for future copyright cases in the digital realm. 2. Grokster Case 2005. In a similar vein to Napster, Grokster was a peer-to-peer file-sharing service that emerged after Napster's downfall. The Recording Industry Association of America (RIAA) sued Grokster, arguing that the platform encouraged and profited from copyright infringement. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled in favor of the RIAA, determining that Grokster could be held liable for its users' infringement because it actively promoted unauthorized sharing of copyrighted materials. This landmark decision reinforced the idea that companies could be held accountable for facilitating piracy, even when they did not host the infringing content themselves. 3. YouTube and Viacom Case 2010. Viacom filed a lawsuit against YouTube claiming that the platform was facilitating copyright infringement by allowing users to upload thousands of copyrighted videos without permission. YouTube argued that it was protected under the Digital Millennium Copyright Act's safe harbor provisions, which shield online service providers from liability for user-uploaded content if they comply with takedown requests. The case was initially ruled in favor of YouTube, emphasizing the importance of safe harbor protections for platforms hosting user-generated content. However, it also raised questions about the balance between copyright enforcement and the promotion of online innovation and content sharing. Future outlook: the Pirate Bay and the copyright war. As we look ahead to the evolving landscape of online piracy and copyright enforcement, particularly in relation to the Pirate Bay TPB, several key trends and predictions emerge that will shape the future of this ongoing conflict. 1. Increased legal action against online platforms. The ruling by the European Court of Justice (ECJ) in 2017, which held the Pirate Bay liable for copyright infringement, is likely to set a precedent for increased legal actions against similar platforms across Europe and beyond. As copyright holders become more emboldened by this legal victory, we can expect a surge in lawsuits targeting not only torrent sites but also other platforms that facilitate file sharing. The focus will not only be on sites like TPB but also on emerging technologies related to streaming and file sharing. 2. Growth of anti-piracy technologies. As enforcement measures become stricter, technological advancements aimed at combating piracy are likely to flourish. This includes the development of more sophisticated content recognition systems, blockchain-based tracking for digital rights management, and enhanced monitoring of online activities. Companies are expected to invest heavily in these technologies to protect their intellectual properties. 3. Shift in user behavior and access methods. Despite legal challenges, users will continue to seek ways to access pirated content. This may lead to an increase in the use of virtual private networks, VPNs, peer-to-peer P2P technologies, and decentralized platforms that make it difficult for authorities to track and regulate. The anonymity provided by these technologies will empower users to bypass restrictions, although it may also lead to increased scrutiny and potential legal repercussions for those who engage in such activities. 4. Emergence of alternative platforms. As traditional torrent sites face increased legal pressure, there may be a rise in alternative platforms that operate in a more obscure or decentralized manner. These could include newer file-sharing protocols or even blockchain-based solutions that minimize centralized control, making it harder for authorities to enforce copyright laws. The evolution of these platforms will likely attract users who are disenchanted with mainstream options. 5. Legitimate streaming services on the rise. The entertainment industry will continue to adapt to changing consumer preferences by investing in legitimate streaming services that offer user-friendly access to content. Platforms like Netflix, Hulu, and Spotify will expand their offerings and improve user experiences to deter piracy. As legal alternatives become more attractive, the demand for pirated content may decrease, although it is unlikely to disappear entirely. 6. Global cooperation in copyright enforcement. The international nature of the Internet will necessitate greater cooperation among countries in enforcing copyright laws. We can anticipate more robust international treaties and agreements aimed at combating piracy, which will require countries to adopt similar laws and enforcement mechanisms. Such cooperation may also facilitate the sharing of information about piracy trends and tactics among law enforcement agencies globally. 7. Public sentiment and ethical considerations. The public's perception of piracy and copyright enforcement will continue to evolve. As awareness grows regarding the implications of piracy on creators and the industry, there may be a shift toward supporting legal content consumption. However, the ongoing debate about fair use, access to information, and ethical considerations surrounding copyright will likely persist, influencing how laws are shaped in the future. 8. Potential for legislative changes. As the digital landscape evolves, so too must the laws that govern it. Legislative bodies may introduce new frameworks that address the challenges posed by piracy in the age of the Internet. This could include re-evaluating the safe harbor provisions that currently protect some platforms from liability, potentially leading to stricter regulations for sites like TPB and similar services. Conclusion. The future of the Pirate Bay and the broader copyright war is fraught with uncertainty driven by technological advancements, user behavior, and legal frameworks. While significant legal challenges will persist, the resilience of users seeking access to content will sustain the demand for piracy in various forms. The entertainment industry must continue to innovate and adapt, providing appealing legal alternatives that can effectively meet consumer needs while navigating the complex dynamics of copyright enforcement. The ongoing battle between copyright holders and users will shape the next chapter in this digital saga, with implications that extend far beyond the confines of any single platform.